Welcome back, football fans. Barcelona kicked off their La Liga title defense with drama, controversy, and some big debuts. From Marcus Rashford making his first appearance in Blaugrana colors, to Joan Garcia proving why he's set to be the new number one, there's plenty to unpack. We'll also dive into the rise of 18-year-old Joffrey Torrance, Real Madrid fans' outrage at refereeing decisions, and the latest transfer shocks, including Benjamin Sesko's Manchester United move that ruined Barcelona's plans, plus Arsenal eyeing a blockbuster Bosman swoop for Frenkie de Jong. Stay tuned because this episode has it all: goals, drama, transfers, and the future of La Liga's biggest stars. An up-and-coming member of the defensive ranks at La Liga champions Barcelona has been tipped to carve out minutes for himself at senior level this coming season. That's according to Diario Sport, who point towards Joffrey Torrance as the player in question. Youngster Torrance is for his part fresh off spending pre-season plying his trade with Hansi Flick's star-studded Barcelona squad. Despite being just 18, the left-back was afforded the chance to showcase his talents in several of the Blaugrana's pre-season fixtures. And Torrance went on to take full advantage of this opportunity. Looking not at all out of place along Barca's left flank, the defender showcased precisely why he has long been tipped as a potential star in the making in Catalonia's capital. Such efforts culminated in Torrance being afforded a place in Hansi Flick's matchday squad for the club's opening day La Liga fixture against RCD Mallorca, before featuring off the bench during the second half. And as per a report from Sport, it will likely not be long before the youngster is making his mark on an altogether consistent basis at senior level. Neither Deco nor Hansi Flick are contemplating getting rid of Joffrey Torrance under any circumstances. Both are convinced that the season is very long and that sooner or later opportunities will arise for Joffrey to be a real alternative to Bald and Gerard Martin. Manchester United loanee Marcus Rashford made his La Liga debut on Saturday as Barcelona kicked off their 2025-26 season with an emphatic 3-0 win over Mallorca. Rashford joined Barcelona earlier this summer on a season-long loan deal. Barcelona cruised past Mallorca. Rashford was named on the bench, with Hansi Flick preferring a starting attacking trio of Lamine Yamal and Rafinha on the wings and Ferran Torres leading the line. Barca got off to a first start as Rafinha broke the deadlock just 7 minutes in. Yamal delivered a fantastic cross into the box, which bounced off the ground before Rafinha nodded it home. The visitors doubled the lead soon after, albeit in a very controversial fashion. Mallorca defender Antonio Relo hit the ground in pain while trying to clear a Llama slot. The referee appeared to be blowing his whistle to pause proceedings, but not before Torres fired a beautiful strike into the back of the net with his right foot. Yamal added a third in added time to put the cherry on top of what was a dream start to the campaign for the Blaugrana. Rashford was brought in with 22 minutes left on the clock, replacing Torres. Interestingly, Rashford mostly occupied the left side of the attack, with Rafinha playing in the number 9 position. Rashford's performance. Rashford's intent was clear as he pushed for a debut goal to mark a bright beginning at Barcelona, though the breakthrough never came. However, he still showed a lot of positive signs, especially in the way he combined with his new teammates. The United loanee touched the ball 14 times and successfully connected with 10 of the 11 passes he attempted, 91% individual pass accuracy. 2 of his passes were key passes. He lost the ball 3 times. Widespread sections of the Real Madrid fanbase have on Saturday evening again made known their frustration with the standard of officiating in La Liga. This comes owing to developments early in the meeting between Barcelona and RCD Mallorca. Barça of course kicked the defense of their Spanish top-flight title into gear this evening, courtesy of a trip to Sant Moix. And inside the opening half-hour of action, the outcome of the clash was all but decided. After Rafinha opened the scoring from close range early on, Ferran Torres doubled the visitors' advantage a short time later. The latter goal came amid somewhat bizarre circumstances, after Mallorca's players came to a standstill upon one of their teammates going to ground with a head injury. Ferran, though, continued, picking out the net courtesy of a brilliant strike which was surprisingly allowed to stand. And the drama did not end there. Just beyond the half-hour mark, the hosts were reduced to 10 men, upon Manu Morlands being shown a second yellow card. Incredibly, Vedat Muriqi was then sent for an early bath too for a dangerous high challenge on Joan Garcia. And as alluded to above, these developments at Sant Moix have not gone at all overlooked on the part of those of a Real Madrid persuasion. In fact, Blancos fans the world over have been quick to vent their frustrations, highlighting alleged Barcelona favoritism and calling into question La Liga's integrity as a whole. Barcelona opened their La Liga campaign with a trip to Real Mallorca as Hansi Flick's men looked to get their title defense off to a winning start. The squad has been refreshed with several new signings, including the loan arrival of Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. While the England international was named among the substitutes for the first time in the Spanish top flight, Flick did hand a domestic bow to goalkeeper Joan Garcia. The shot-stopper was signed from local rivals Espanyol earlier in the summer, and is expected to take over number 1 duties at Camp Nou. The man stepping into the vacancy left by Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Wojciech Szczesny, the Spaniard suffered the worst possible start as he picked up a nasty-looking injury before the game even kicked off. He was attended to by medical staff ahead of kickoff. Joan Garcia suffers horror injury before Barcelona bow. The goalkeeper appeared to dislocate his finger before the action even got underway, as images surfaced on social media of the gruesome knock. Barcelona's medical team could be seen looking at his hand and even appeared to be pushing the digit back into place. As seen in the images above, Garcia's pinky finger on his left hand looked to be out of place, and the 24-year-old was in visible agony as the doctor fixed the issue. Despite the distress so close to the game starting, Garcia was still named among the starting 11 and played through the pain. While one fan did take to X, formerly Twitter, to ask why the Spanish keeper was allowed to play, asking, "Why risk him if it's a dislocated finger? It's often the case that goalkeepers play on through injuries to their hands and fingers." Barcelona raced into a 2-goal lead in the first half, with Rafinha opening the scoring before Ferran Torres added a second in the 23rd minute. The Catalan Giants look set to go head-to-head with Real Madrid for the Spanish title once again. Benjamin Sesko recently joined Manchester United from RB Leipzig, but things could have been very different for him, with a report claiming Barcelona were sizing up a 2026 move for the striker. Sesko scored 21 goals in 45 matches last season, with 13 of those strikes coming in the German Bundesliga. Despite this impressive form, it was a season to forget for Leipzig as they fell down to 7th in the Bundesliga and failed to qualify for any European competition. This saw top players such as Sesko and Xavi Simons push for moves abroad. Arsenal are long-term admirers of Sesko, having identified him as a possible replacement for Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal had originally targeted Benjamin Sesko, but after negotiations broke down, they turned their attention to Victor Gyökeres instead. That shift opened the door for Manchester United and Newcastle United to battle it out for the Slovenian striker. Despite Newcastle putting more money on the table for both RB Leipzig and the player, Sesko turned them down and chose his dream move to Old Trafford. By a twist of fate, his first Premier League appearance is set to come against Arsenal this Sunday. Meanwhile, reports from Catalonia claim Barcelona are disappointed by the outcome. Sporting director Deco had been laying the foundations for a move to bring Sesko to Camp Nou next summer, but United's swift action has effectively ended those hopes. Deco saw the 22-year-old as a perfect successor for Robert Lewandowski, who is now 36. But Deco was always aware that Sesko would strongly consider Premier League offers this summer. Barcelona still need new striker after Sesko miss. In the short term, Barca boss Hansi Flick will utilize Marcus Rashford and Ferran Torres as backups for Lewandowski. Rashford has joined the reigning Spanish champions on a season-long loan from United, and the deal includes a €30 million, £26 million, buy option. Barca view Rashford as more of a left winger, which means they are likely to enter the market for a new centre-forward even if the Englishman joins permanently. Vitor Roque was previously seen as Lewandowski's successor, but he did not live up to expectations at Barca and was therefore sold to Palmeiras. Barca would love to make Julian Alvarez their new striker, though Atletico Madrid would make that deal very difficult. Barcelona star Robert Lewandowski has this week moved to reveal his appreciation for the talents of a summer arrival in Catalonia's capital. The player in question? Marcus Rashford. Frontman Rashford is for his part of course currently preparing for his first competitive outing in the colours of Barcelona. After being registered just in time for the Blaugrana's La Liga season opener against RCD Mallorca, the Englishman is expected to feature off the bench at Sant Moix. And one individual who appears confident that Rashford will waste little time in making his impact felt in Spain is the aforementioned Robert Lewandowski. Drawn on the talents of his new teammate during an interview with ESPN this week, Lewandowski did not hold back in his praise for Rashford. Marcus Rashford has everything as a footballer. Fast, skillful with the ball, in one-on-one situations on the wings, he can play against one or two players. The impressive performance conjured up by Barcelona summer signing Joan Garcia on Saturday has been aptly reflected in the statistics. This comes after the 24-year-old enjoyed a competitive debut to remember in Blaugrana colours. Barcelona of course marked their return to action a short time ago, making the trip to Sun Moix for a meeting with RCD Mallorca. When all was said and done, Hansi Flick's troops emerged on the right side of a 3-0 result, courtesy of goals on the part of all of Rafinha, Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal. The aforementioned Joan, meanwhile, featured from the off, just hours on from having his registration with La Liga confirmed. And as alluded to above, the former Espanyol standout went on to enjoy a fine individual showing. En route to keeping a clean sheet, Joan looked in full control of things, quick with his reflexes, sharp off his line and confident in possession. And such exploits on the part of the shot-stopper have since been aptly summed up by the statistics. As per SofaScore, Joan completed 100% of his 16 passes, including 2 halves-long passes. On top of this, the Spaniard won 100% of his duels, both in the air and on the ground. A hugely encouraging start for Barcelona's new number 1. Arsenal are angling for a bossman move for Frenkie de Jong for next summer when his contract with Barcelona comes to an end. Reports from Fischages suggest Arsenal are closely monitoring Frenkie de Jong's situation at Barcelona, with the Dutch midfielder potentially becoming a free agent next summer. The 59-capped Netherlands international has just 1 year left on his deal, and contract renewal talks with Barca have hit complications, opening the door for a possible change of scenery. De Jong remains a crucial figure in Hansi Flick's side, seen as an automatic starter alongside Pedri in midfield. Last season, Marc Casado filled in well during De Jong's injury absence, but since returning to full fitness, the Dutchman has reclaimed his place at the heart of Barcelona's game. The main issue lies in the contract negotiations. Barcelona are reportedly pushing for De Jong to accept a salary reduction to extend his stay, something that may not sit well with the player. Should no agreement be reached, Arsenal could swoop in with a bossman move, making the midfielder one of their top transfer targets for 2026. Hence, there is a possibility that De Jong could move on from the club on a free transfer next summer when his deal with Barcelona ends. Such a scenario will not please Flick, although the 59-capped Netherlands international has been giving out signs such as being keen to part ways with his current agent. Arsenal are interested in Frenkie de Jong. Mikel Arteta wishes to keep building his midfield options despite having formidable options such as Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal had held an interest in De Jong for a while now, but with his potential availability on a free transfer, they could step up their chase, especially if the 28-year-old mainstay fails to renew with Barcelona. Having Frenkie de Jong, Zubimendi, and Rice will make the Gunners a formidable team on all fronts, as Arteta wants to keep building a squad capable of challenging for the Premier League and Champions League. Whether they can land the midfielder remains the question, owing to his wage demands as well as expected competition from top rivals. So there you have it. Barcelona start strong with a 3-0 win, but questions over refereeing won't go away. Marcus Rashford showed promising signs, Joan Garcia impressed on debut despite his injury scare, and young Joffrey Torrance looks set for a big breakthrough. Meanwhile,